Right, Nigel, on to the final furlong of the CH7.70. Tyre options, what have you got going on?
Tyre options now have taken on a life of their own, as people, particularly after a damp harvest, really start to appreciate the extra footprint that we can get from some of the tyre options that we have. This tyre option here is a 680 tyre. It's a 680 85-32. It is a Mitas unit, but what it uses is a much stronger sidewall on the tyre so that we can run it at lower ground pressures. Mitas call it CHO, or cyclical harvester operations, because it can support the changing weight of a combine as the grain tank fills and empties. What we can do with this tyre is we can go out to a 900 tyre on here, albeit that makes the combine particularly wide. At the moment with this tyre on, we're a whisker over 3.5 metres across. We can combine this with a very tall rear tyre as well. And the idea behind these taller tyres is that we get a longer footprint rather than simply a wider footprint. So by doing that, we can actually maintain this ground contact area and be as kind and as gentle to the ground as possibly we can. Tracks we don't do in the United Kingdom on this combine. I know there are aftermarket solutions, particularly in the rice growing areas of Southern Europe, where they will go with tracks. But what we have the option of over here is a hydraulically powered rear axle. So what we have with that one is the ability to use a 2-speed drive system. It's got a little bit of a trick. I've
noticed that on
yes. But what the trick is that it's got a cant in the axle beam itself. So this enables us to put a much taller tyre on and maintain the combine level. The powered rear axle also is able to switch itself on and off as you go up and down hills, particularly for those people who are running down a steep hill. The danger with any combine is that you get weight transfer over onto the front wheels, the load comes off the back wheels, and if you've got a driven rear axle, that can start windmilling backwards, and then you can actually, from a safety point of view, you can actually lose traction and freewheel down the hill. What the combine does is it uses a sensor in the underneath the cab that detects whether it's leaning backwards or forwards, and what that will do is it starts tipping forwards, is it will disconnect the back, put all the drive through to the front wheels, and that way you maintain the safety of the unit.
Okay, and in terms of drive to the front axle in particular, gearbox wise, what have you got on this combine?
This is our own gearbox. We use a CNH 3-speed gearbox running through a conventional hydrostat. Again, it's a mechanically operated gearbox. There's no electrical changing of gears as we would have with the flagship machines.
Hence the big stick.
Hence the big stick, and you've got to face it. Once you're in the field and running, it's not often that you actually need to swap the cogs. So in terms of customer operation, again, we're down to simplicity. The simplicity and control the costs of it. We don't need electrics. We don't need remote handbrakes or anything similar to that. Keep it simple and keep the cost out of the machine.
And what about top speed for this model, for your road speed?
All the combines that we bring over into this country for the United Kingdom are all limited to 30 kilometres an hour. Those people that say that there are speeds beyond 30 kilometres an hour are being slightly loose with the interpretation of what the legislation is on combine top speeds.